All right, guys. Lisa, we're live. Take it away.
Right. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Super exciting one for us
Yes.
today, as today is also the launch of our Live Good Essential Oil Pack. It is now live on the website. So
Long awaited.
very, very, very exciting. Yes, definitely long waited because we were hoping to have it before the holidays, but we're here. So many of you have heard of and have also have a lot of experience and used essential oils. Essential oils are the concentrated oils of beneficial plants. Okay. Ryan's going to go deep into the science behind it. And then we're going to give you suggested uses, how to properly dose them, in what form you're using. And I guess a little bit more of our personal experience with essential oils as well.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, Lisa. We'll break it into two areas, right? One will say like sort of the science side of essential oils, and the second thing is the utility and how to use them, how to get the most out of them. I feel like similar to what Nader sometimes says, I feel like I've sort of had ignorance on fire because you've been using essential oils around our family for as long as I can remember, and I've paid no attention to it. The only thing I will do is add a little bit of a breathe to my wrist before I go to sleep. But otherwise, I do see you diffusing throughout the house. But I've never really paid a lot of mind to it until recently, until LiveGood decided to launch. And it honestly became such an eye-opening learning curve for me, and so much fun and so much science, because wow, there is a lot of validity to the use of essential oils. I mean, we're talking, I don't know, 3 millennia, 3,000 plus years or more that I guess essential oils have been being isolated from plants. I think they even said they opened up King Tut's tomb and they had the aroma of lavender, but they did find some essential oils. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But I mean, we know that plants are medicine, right? I mean, we know that steroids and hormones and chemotherapeutic agents and pain relievers are derived out of plants. So we've known that forever. We know that food is medicine. Lisa and I will talk about that very often. And a lot of it has to do with the plants and the phytoactive compounds, the bioactive compounds that are in plants. I mean, there's so many of them. When it comes to essential oils, we're really talking about terpenes. There's that word, Lisa, terpenes. Terpenes are the primary constituent of the essential oil. There's like 30,000 different terpene compounds, but that's basically what gives it the aroma, the essence. And that's why they call them essential oils. It doesn't mean it's essential the same way amino acids are essential, where the body doesn't make them, you have to get them exogenously from your diet. No, essential in this case had to do just more to do with the essence of the plant, the aroma. The aromatic compounds that you smell, that you can kind of sense and detect, your olfactory bulb uses. So that's a lot of where that came from. They've even called it the, like air, wind, earth, fire, that whole thing, the elements. They said the fifth element of spirit. They've referred to it as essential oils being a spirit. But the technical aspect of that's actually not true. But still, it's kind of neat and fun to talk about. So anyway, yeah, that's a little bit about the science. Here's what I really like about essential oils. I love the fact that these compounds are so involved in the biosynthesis of so many biological systems in our body. There's so many things that they do. But what's interesting is how do they accomplish that? So there's really kind of three great ways I was going to throw out to you real quick. The first and most obvious is the olfactory sense. So our sense of smell.
So diffusing.
Yeah, so diffusing or topical, really anything. No, diffusing, topical, put it into a spray bottle, using it direct, putting it in a bath, all the different things we'll talk about. But again, just the aroma, right? Just the fact that we smell it. The olfactory bulb goes down the cranial nerve. It's like the shortest nerve, and it goes into the brain. And from there, it goes into the limbic system, and it triggers all these different other body systems to react. And it's all due to a sense of smell. It can lower blood pressure. It can reduce stress. It can manage your inflammatory response. It can have something to do with your immune system, all just by smelling it.
Which is why I think this is like the rabbit hole he went down when he started looking into essential oils, was again how long that I've been using them, and he kind of pays no attention. I have a diffuser in every single room of our house.
Yeah.
And now like he's magically, his eyes have like opened up, and he's really understanding the powerful benefits of essential oils.
Well, think about it. The volatility. It's a volatile oil, which means it's near a gas state, right? It's due to a high vapor pressure. It's sitting at rest, and that's why you can smell it so fast, because it's really going from liquid to gas really very, very readily. But yeah, so that's awesome. And it's also they do not love water. It's hydrophobic, so they don't love water, which is another reason why they cross cell walls and cell membranes so easily. They have antimicrobial properties, so antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. You'll hear us talk about things about mold in the house. If you live in Florida, it's freaking ubiquitous. It's almost everywhere. There's so much utility for oils. All right, but that was it. That was olfactory. Second thing is topical. So think about topical use. It can absorb across the cell membranes, the cell walls. It can get through the skin. It has low molecular weight, which we've talked about in the past. I mean, I think around 300 Daltons, but typically anything below 500 is accepted as going across. It's fat loving, so it does go across cell membrane. So you will get some systemic absorption of essential oil into the bloodstream through topical application, which would really be transdermal, but that's technical. So there's that aspect of it as well. And then also there's the inhalation. So a lot of meds like the nebulizers, inhalers, there's a lot of factors, but ultimately these things we breathe in, they travel down into our lungs, into what's called the alveolar, and there's a little thin membrane, it's only one cell thick, and that's where the diffusion layer is into the bloodstream. So you inhale, and it's possible that you're getting a fair amount of absorption into the bloodstream just by inhaling, which we'll talk about aromatically via diffuser, all the benefits of that as well. Particle size again matters, and again, it's just a neat, cool delivery system. Now, it's not quite as tightly controlled as pharmaceutical drugs are, as via dosing. We don't really have any guidelines, and I think, Lisa, didn't you say there's no real board or agency that oversees dosing or sourcing?
Right.
Or
I mean,
purity?
they are on the GRAS list, which
Some are, most
generally
most-
recognized as safe, but again,
most
they don't give you the proper dosing in the right form. So yeah, there's a lot.
But think about it, those are three really cool ways. The body responds, reacts, does its whole thing, clinically efficacious, therapeutic, is just by breathing it, olfactory, topical application, and by respiratory absorption through the lungs.
Right.
So, pretty cool.
Yes. So I guess before we go into the uses and whatnot, let's talk about purity, the potency, the testing.
Oh, sure.
So I've actually had this question several times, so I'm going to address it first. And it has to do with these labels of things. So food grade, therapeutic grade, aromatherapy grade. And it's because of the way essential oils are regulated, there is no like legal term, or not regulated. There's no like real legal term called therapeutic grade or food grade.
Okay.
A lot of these,
and yet we call it therapeutic grade.
yes, but that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. There's no real recognized definition, but you have to understand this, that any pure, undiluted, unadulterated essential oil is naturally therapeutic or aromatherapy grade. That's the whole point of using that. Right. So while it's not like a label like a USDA organic, it still defines what it's used for, and it really has to do with the purity and potency. So going to that, knowing that anybody can put that on their label, anybody can advertise that, anybody can market it like that, you really have to do your own due diligence and find out how things are properly tested.
Yeah.
You need to understand that, because I mean, essential oils are everywhere. You can walk into any store and find an essential oil with some cool label and it looks great. They are not created equal. They probably won't give you the proper testing. They don't probably have that information, the way they source them. It's not direct from the source to the bottle. So you have to know that. So you have to know your purity and your potency. And that's one thing it goes with anything that we have in LiveGood. But it's one of the most important things for us. And that's why we love to give you all of the certificates of analysis, all the testing right there on our website. We don't want you to have to search for them, to ask for them. We want you to know everything. So Ryan will go into a little bit of how we sourced and how pure and potent
and you're spot on to say, I mean, counterfeiting and adulteration is dishonest. It's a breach of morals, and ultimately it's unsafe for the consumer.
Speaking of real quick, unsafe, if you've ever heard about people having adverse reactions to essential oils, a lot of times it is those synthetic ones, those adulterated ones, because they have other additives in them that are actually can be toxic to you. They can be endocrine disruptors, just lots of things. So you may have heard that so-and-so had an adverse reaction, and it's probably something that's not pure.
Yeah, I think dishonest marketing is a big reason for it. Obviously, there's a significant cost with sourcing ethically sourced, pure, undiluted essential oil, and that's exactly what we have here at LiveGood is the pure, undiluted essential oils. Testing is interesting. I did spend a lot of effort and time in that department. Wanted to make sure. So, if for those of you that have followed along, before we were trying to launch, we had a snag because we failed some testing. And in that example, it failed the ISO spec in Australia. Our tea tree failed the ISO spec from Australia, which is where we source the tea tree leaves from. It was shown as a Chinese tea tree, which it's a common maneuver or tactic for some of these unscrupulous brands. And then the other one was our peppermint was a dementholized. It looked like corn mint, had this weird funky characteristics to it, so we had to fail that one as well. So when you have a chance on the website now, are the certificates of it they're not COAs, they're testing. And the testing, there's only like really two main people that are capable of testing and getting extremely detailed into it to ensure that we don't have any contaminants. And when you go through, you'll see the test, and you'll see the word terpene again show up a lot of different places, but you'll definitely see what's in every single oil. So super important. Very proud of that. That's I think from a consumer perspective, that's what you guys want to see, and that's
right. So a lot of times
deserve.
when also asked the questions, how do we compare to, and we always the top brands that we have doTERRA, Young Living. I mean, we are directly comparable, guys. We do all the same testing for purity and potency. We literally have our source to our bottle. I mean, all the same stuff, but again, our prices are amazing.
Yeah,
so that's where we really differ, obviously. So
let's talk about LiveGood's products.
I was going to say, let's get into the exciting part of it that you guys have all here waiting for. So I'm going to say our cute little box. It's also magnetic in the front. So great little organizational toolkit. Okay, so we do have, I'll just go through our our blends, excuse me. And these are all 15 milliliters. Okay, I get that question often too. These are all 15 mLs. We have our immunity blend. Ryan, what's in the immunity blend? Name 5.
Yeah, so clove, cinnamon, orange, eucalyptus, and rosemary.
Amazing. Lemon, tea tree, peppermint, which is crooked in there, lavender, and frankincense. So all of these, what is it? Member price? Member price, crazy, $49.95.
Oh wow, yeah. All right,
$49.95 for. I'm going to pull it up on the website because we just launched it, and I'll give you the non-member price as well. Okay, so going through our oils, do you want to go through? Well, let's talk about you kind of talked about the uses, right? So let's just say,
the different ways.
Yeah, different ways to use.
Okay.
There are 3 different ways to use, but 2 of them are the ones that we're really going to talk about, because the third one, we really advise you to be working with like a well-versed,
know what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You either be well-versed or working with someone that's well-versed in essential oils that, but for most part, it's the aromatherapy part. Okay. You put it in your diffuser. Easy enough, adding 5 to 10 drops of your essential oil into the diffuser, and it diffuses into your home. Now, I have many different sizes of diffusers. Like one of mine is very big. So I'm obviously going to add, personally, I'm going to add 15 drops to that because it carries a lot more water. So you also just make your discretion based on the size of your diffuser.
We will have a diffuser.
Yes.
We don't have one now. So for those that you are looking, look for something that it doesn't have to be huge, 100 ml. Most of them are made of plastic, but if you're going to choose plastic, make sure it's BPA free plastic. A timer is helpful so that it automatically shuts off. I'm trying to think, is there anything else?
Well, I mean, they make some like with reeds in them, which is fine. You don't have to plug them in or anything, but what happens is you have to change the reed often.
Yeah.
So once it kind of absorbs all that oil and goes out, I mean, it doesn't last all that long. So definitely one that you need to plug in, but again, we're going to have one.
Yep.
We're going to have one. Another way, as Ryan spoke about, is spraying. So I order a bunch of stuff off of Amazon, and you always want to make sure you're in like a dark glass bottle to prevent that UV, to protect it from the UV.
Right.
So this is a little spray thing. Okay. So I just take some of the essential oils and, I'll dilute
So your dilution though, this can apply to topical too, but if you're looking for a 1, a 2, 3, 5, 10% dilution, 10 being more concentrated, if you base it on a teaspoon, that's 10 drops per teaspoon for 10%, 5 drops per teaspoon of oil or water for 5%, and so on.
Okay.
I hope that helps you.
Yeah, so filling into a spray bottle, spray in the room, great for the lavender. And I will say too, there's easy ways to get it in. I have some of the stuff that you buy on Amazon comes like a little plunger that literally will just help you draw all the oil out in a mini funnel. You can put it all right in. I mean, they come as kits. So just another way that you could use it, aromatherapy wise.
And then topically.
And then topically. Right. So this is also where it really comes into play how Ryan was talking about the dilution. I know you can use it both ways, but topically, you do want to be careful with essential oils because especially some of them are like almost termed like hot essential oils. Like I'm just going to give an example. We don't have it here, but oregano. Like if you were to put oregano on your skin, it could actually burn you. So you want to be careful with that. And also everybody's skin and areas are different.
Sure.
So to help prevent any irritation, you want to use a carrier oil. So when Ryan was talking about the dilute to like a teaspoon, that's a teaspoon of the carrier oil. Fractionated coconut oil is my favorite, but you can also use jojoba oil, olive oil, almond oil, other things that are also super hydrating for your skin. You get dual benefit there.
And I think some oils do better in different carrier oils.
Okay.
Or I mean, I think, yes. So some essentials should be used. Like I think tea tree should be in jojoba, but like, again, there's a lot of personal preference. There's some science behind it too. So we are not aromatherapists. So we're not really well educated in that, but we've definitely used the oils a lot. And as you can tell, we're becoming very passionate about it and making sure that we're doing it in a safe and
safe and effective way.
Safe and effective.
And so here's another one you can get. It's a roller. So the rolling head pops out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you can make it. So this is a great one. I'm just going to use lavender, for example, for before bed. So you make your little lavender roller, you put the fractionated coconut oil or whatever carrier oil you're going to use.
Right.
And then we'll give you some tips of where you can rub it, rubbing it, on your wrist or whatnot. Or just again, smelling it. So another way, yes, topically. And I guess while we're talking about topically, I'll just tell you some good placement spots. The wrist, behind the neck, behind the ears, the navel. I also like temples. I also like on the inside of the feet. The reason I do that, almost like the inside of the ankle area, is because it's rarely touched. So a lot of times if I'm using something before I'm going to bed, like put it down there and I know it's not really going to touch much. And then what I was talking about is the third one is orally. But again, this should only be used orally, only some of them as well. If you have experience with essential oils, or if you're working with someone that's well versed in essential oils, or you follow a certified oil therapist that gives the proper dosing of it. And I think the same thing that goes, I'm just going to throw it out there now because I get the question already with the kids and pets. So same thing, work with someone that is well versed with essential oils when in regards to veterinarian that's well versed with essential oils, and just know like, in your home, diffusing should be no different for your children and your animals. It should just be as safe as long as you're using a pure essential oil. Now, when it comes to more topically and orally, that's a totally different ballgame.
I wonder what the dogs think with the powerful olfactory senses that they have.
Right. I mean, the article I was reading today was actually pretty cool. How how well dogs actually respond to it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to talk to our oily vet friend and see what we know about.
Yes, we have an affiliate that's the oily,
that's
known
awesome.
as the oily vet.
Great.
What else do and I also have other things you can get off of Amazon. These are little minis and the lid just pops open. And so this means you can take your oils, everywhere. I know these aren't huge, but say you were traveling and you wanted to take all the oils with you, then you just take 6 of these guys.
I had no idea we had all this stuff, right? That's ignorance on fire. It's perfect.
Good stuff. Okay, so what about some of the uses of these oils? Let's get into those.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
You want to start with the?
Well, I have it in order just the way that's going to go up on the website too. Is lemon. So lemon is
lemon.
Yep. Let's do it. Obviously, you guys, well, this comes from cold pressing, so it's not through distillation like the other oils are, but direct from the rind.
So good.
Yeah, it smells amazing. And just like you would expect. I mean, what are you going to do with lemon? Well, it's refreshing, it's invigorating. I think a lot of times it's used for bad odor, malodors. So things like you can put it in a cotton ball and put it into an area that doesn't smell good. Could be a bathroom, right? Could be the back of a refrigerator,
Right.
right?
Laundry.
Yeah, of course. So
Yeah.
I'll just read you some of the things that I put up on here. But so diffusing, again, like 5 drops, if you're using a 100 ml diffuser, so 5 drops, 5 to 10 drops, you can just diffuse it. Can increase lift mood, improve job performance. The cotton ball thing I told you about, there's a cleaning. You can use it for cleaning, add it to your cleaners. And you can add a few drops to your gym laundry, like Lisa said. But again, hundreds, if not, no, there's thousands of different ways to use oil. So there's no way we can cover all of that. We're never going to be able to, but we will provide content through social media. We'll continue to post stuff and hopefully you guys can find a good reputable source through Google too as well.
And after Ryan goes through all these, I'll give you some of like my just favorite uses of these.
Well, you want to just kind of chime in as we're going? That way
Okay,
it
well,
doesn't seem
the lemon, I love. Okay, so I've been using essential oils for a very long time. So I do put a drop in my water. Okay, so that's kind of like my lemon water. Very good. I also love to diffuse it with peppermint because it actually, peppermint has like an uplifting mood, so it can kind of help you waken up. So I like putting the two together because it's a very fresh, awakening scent. And like Ryan said, in cleaners, like I use amber bottles, I make my own cleaner, and the fresh lemon scent, I mean, is always delicious, necessary. So those are my favorite lemon.
All right, awesome. All right, so next up was lavender, stress, sleep, mood. A lot has to do with mood. Like I wish our 11-year-old was here. She was going to come on and show you how she makes her spray bottle. And she's just walking around many times of the house, just spraying, but mostly on her bed. She'll use it on her sheets, which is great. I absolutely love that. You can apply topically direct to behind your ears, on your temples, behind your on your wrist folds. I use lavender. I absolutely love it. As a natural perfume, you can actually apply it topically as a natural perfume. It's excellent for do-it-yourself recipes. There's probably, I mean, just again, so many different recipes online, from household cleaning to de-stressing to mood to a lot of, right.
And lavender and lemon also go really well together. So you'll kind of find your blends that you like. And I mix scents all the time and just kind of see what, freshens up the home. But lavender, again, this roller is perfect for lavender because I love to put it on my wrist, smell it. I also like the lavender above the navel. Just really good placements. And like Ryan said, sleep, that's my preferred use for it. But also any times of stress, or if my house is kind of a little too active, I might start putting in the diffusers everywhere just to tone it down a bit. So I mean, there's so many uses. Great stuff. Lavender is awesome. And it's also like can be known as like, if you want to call it like your red oil. So anything that you think is like red, like you're angry or you're frustrated, or it's calming. So think a red mood.
Oh, I forgot to say lavender's from Bulgaria too, and it's part of it. It's distilled.
And this will be on the website.
Yeah, of course. And we'll try to move through it fast. I know we've already gone 23 minutes, so let's try to get through it fast.
Go.
Tea tree oil is up next, Lisa.
Okay, tea tree oil. Well, I mean,
5 drops in a diffuser.
Yes.
That's for a great refresh space. This is one of those ones that's great for air quality, indoor air quality.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, because of its antibacterial benefit, that's the one I love to use with gym clothes. So I'll put some drops straight into the laundry, or any like sports clothing, any like really dirty laundry. So yeah, someone's a fisherman and you got the fishy stink on, clothing. Really helps there. Also, speaking of laundry, you can get the wool dryer balls, and that's what I use. We don't use fabric softeners or anything like that with scents because they're not good for you. So I have dryer balls. Go online, Amazon, wool dryer balls, and I just put like maybe a few drops onto each dryer ball when I throw it in there. So tea tree oil is really great for that. It's been well known for use because of the antibacterial and fungal for athlete's foot, for nail fungus,
ringworm, nail fungus.
I mean,
even for warts. That's quite a bit for warts, and that's actually applying it directly using a cotton swab.
Right.
That's not through a dilution, I don't believe.
Insect bites. There's so many uses.
But tea tree should be applied almost always with a carrier oil, just because of, again, some of the sensitivities that can occur. And going back to lemon too, sometimes you can get a photosensitivity if you're using it directly on the skin. So just be cautious of that. If your skin kind of heats up and gets a superficial rash, that could be just part of that photosensitivity reaction. But with tea tree too, I don't think you're supposed to consume it orally. Is that the one we were talking about where
Yes.
if you had it in a mouthwash, it's designed to be spit out?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and obviously putting in a mouthwash is the antibacterial properties of it, but making sure, you know,
You're not
You're not fault.
ingesting it. Okay. Yeah, and tea tree we mentioned is from Australia. So from the leaves. All right. So next up, Lisa, is the peppermint. Ooh, lots of so many amazing uses with peppermint. It's unbelievable.
right. I mean, you know, peppermint, we all love peppermint.
Right.
But again, I like it in a diffuser because it's awakening. So maybe it's a great thing to have in an office.
In office space.
Really keeps you alert. You can put it little dabs of the carrier oil behind your ears. I would not advise the temple. I did do that to Ryan once.
Okay.
It can be a little strong.
Yeah,
So just, you know, it just depends on how much you use. I like to use it for myself orally as like a breath mint. So just make sure it's like, I make sure it's only one drop because it is powerful. I mean, powerful. What Yeah.
Says it's still streaming on YouTube. Sorry about
Okay,
that,
I
guys.
what happened. It just went away, but we were just talking about peppermint. So leave right off. I gave my uses and let's do your uses.
All right, yeah. So, okay, that was for peppermint. So diffuse 5 drops again, multitude of benefits, including sinus allergy relief, improved focus, concentration. Also muscle pain, aches, headache, 1 to 2 drops behind the ears. Be careful with the temples, like Lisa said. Freshen breath, 1 drop on the tongue. Oral, borderline, yes, but it is very, very nice for freshening the breath. Let's go on to frankincense, Lisa. I know this is the one that many people
I mean, this
love.
is like the king
This is
of
from
oils.
India, by the way. This is Boswellia serrata. This is out of India, but this is a king for sure for a state of relaxation. Or what else? What else, Lisa?
Well, my favorite, I talk about the skin health benefits. So putting it with a little bit of carrier oil, or if you use a facial oil, putting a drop into with your facial oil, and it helps with fine lines, wrinkles, dark spots, tightening. I mean, amazing stuff. So soothing to the skin, promoting cellular health, stimulates the immune system. I mean, it talks about having anti-tumor, anti-seizure properties. I mean, it's just such a great way to add it to any health regimen, aromatically, you know, topically, and it only in certain circumstances orally. But again, those need to be well-versed in oils for that.
Yeah, I was surprised by how much of the skincare frankincense is good for, you know, from the acne blemishes and the dark spots, which I'm starting to pick up too. There's kind of those age spots. So an incredible oil. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. And then the last one was the immunity blend. So we
Yes.
talked about what's in the immunity blend. Again, clove, cinnamon, orange, eucalyptus, and rosemary.
Now, this is
And-
something I have going in our house like all the time. Because especially during your so-called, you know, cold and flu season, but when I know like a bunch of kids are sick in my children's classes, I mean, I just all about prevention, right? So I will honestly, when my kids are like walking out the door, I'll put a little bit, mix in the carrier oil behind their neck. I mean, they think I'm crazy. I'm trying to always put essential oils on them. But really, the immunity blend is so good at protecting yourself and boosting your immune system. So always diffusing it in the home just for like that clean, pure immunity boost.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's our 6-pack. They are only available in a pack at this time. We will continue to evaluate and look to add on more oils in the future and possibly go into singles. But right now, this is the way that it's available.
And like I said, $49.95 for members, $69.95 for non-members, regardless. Amazing deal. And yes, like Ryan said, because I do get a lot of questions, are we gonna have this oil and that oil? this is the beginning. And as you guys know, with LiveGood, we always plan to grow as we grow, adding more products. So, yeah. Any questions that
There were a
in?
bunch, but actually because we dropped off of the Zoom for whatever
we
reason,
lost a lot.
we lost them all. So sorry about that, guys. I know there's a lot of questions we were going to try to get to,
Right.
but
And we'll give you, you know, there'll always be, like on the website, we'll have some suggested uses, but we're not going to give you an entire list of all the uses, guys, because the list is kind of endless. So I can always recommend some oil therapists to follow on social media that you can always see how they use them. Like Ryan said, there's a tremendous amount of recipes for making your own cleaning products, making your own deodorant. I mean, all kinds of stuff using essential oils. I will post my mouthwash because I've already been asked for that since I mentioned it on Friday's call. Great stuff. So yeah, many, many uses, always here to help. So if you have questions about them, comments, if your question did not get answered because we dropped off, just please go ahead and email those.
all right, that's it for us, guys. Have a great rest of your Monday. Super productive. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have a question, hit me up. If someone else referred this video to you, do them the courtesy and go back to them, have them sign you up. If you found me through an organic search and you want to work with me, by all means, check out the links below this video to get back in touch with me. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. See you soon.